The least dramatic thing I own is a poem where nothing happens. No plot, nobody dies in it, nobody leaves, nothing burns down, nothing gets served, nobody lies to me. It's a page about a completely unremarkable day. And it took the 3 worst years of my life to become a person who could write it. Welcome back. This is Dr. Lisa, science back, soul supported the Nez Zen community. We're on day 5 of Ordinary Becomes Extraordinary. And today we're talking about what a life looks like once you stop merely surviving it. Friday is my story day, and I've been building toward this one for 4 weeks. And I have to warn you in advance that it's going to feel like an anticlimax, but that's deliberate. That's the entire point. Every other poem I've shared with you this month has had an event in it. A lawsuit at the door, 3 days after Christmas, a hurricane, a password reset that told the truth about my life, termites on my legs, a eulogy. Today's poem has nothing, no plot, no antagonist. Nothing leaves, nothing burns, nobody lies. It's a page about an ordinary day written by a woman who had finally become capable of noticing one. First, the research, and I'm going to be careful with this one because it's the most oversold area of the whole well-being science. Robert Emmons at UC Davis, working with Michael McCullough at the University of Miami, ran studies that started all of it. People were assigned to write down a small number of things they were grateful for, weekly, daily, or even over several weeks. Others listed hassles or neutral events, and the gratitude groups reported better mood, more optimism, and in some conditions, better sleep and more exercise. The work launched an industry of gratitude journals, gratitude apps, gratitude as a corporate wellness deliverable, which, is its own kind of special insult when the actual problem is the workload. So here's the honest version. A 2020 meta-analysis by Craig and Chevens looked at gratitude interventions for depression and anxiety and found the benefit over active control conditions was small enough that the authors were openly cautious about it. And more broadly, a lot of the early impressive results shrink when you compare gratitude writing against any other structured writing task, rather than against doing nothing at all, which tells you something very specific. And I think it's more useful than the oversold version. A good deal of what gratitude was doing may be what deliberate, structured attention does. The gratitude was a delivery mechanism for the noticing. Now, that's not a demotion. That is exactly why I want on day 5 of this week, because it lines up precisely with what we've been building since Monday. You can't gratitude your way out of a genuinely bad situation, and anyone selling you that is selling you something. hmm. What you can do is direct attention onto material your brain won't surface unprompted. And in a life that has been recently dominated by threat, that material is essentially all of it. So, my poem with nothing in it, it's called Today. Today, from Grounded in Chaos, page 241. Today, my life is better. Today is filled with so many layers. Today, I've slowed down my life, not because I'm 60 plus years old. Frankly, I'm not a senior citizen until I choose to be one. I've slowed down, though, intentionally to appreciate. Appreciation for everything and everyone in my life. Today, I'm relaxed. Today, I'm focused. Today, I better understand concentration and effort. Today, I better understand myself. I accept and acknowledge my role in everything that happened in my life. I was there. My choices, my thoughts, my actions. I accept it all as a necessary step to bring me to today. Today's full of hope and promise because each and every moment, 86,400 seconds in today, are magical, are a gift not to be wasted. I hold in my hand the power of appreciation of today and every day forward. Now, I want to point out 3 things in there because it looks simple, but it's not. The first is I've slowed my life down intentionally, and the intention was to appreciate. That is the word doing all the work, and it's the same word we've been circling around all week. Nothing in that poem happened to her, but she did it. The second is, this is the hardest line in the poem for me. I accept and acknowledge my role in everything that happened in my life. I was there. Yep, I was there. 3 words, and I wanna be careful because that's not a woman taking blame for what was done to her, and if you're in a situation right now where someone's harming you, that line is not for you, and I will not have used it that way, but what it is a woman who has stopped narrating herself as a thing that events happened at. I was there, and I made those choices. Some of them were bad, but every single one of them was mine, my choices. That's the sentence you can only write from the far side, and you can't rush a person to it. I've tried with clients and it doesn't work. The third one is the one that gets me every time. 86,400 seconds in today. Apparently, I counted. And some point in that year, a woman who'd spent 3 years being unable to feel a day sat down and worked out how many seconds are in one and wrote the number in a poem. 60 times 60 times 24, 86,400. That's the poem doing arithmetic on a Tuesday because a Tuesday has finally become interesting. And the last line is not triumphant, which is why I trust it. She doesn't say she's healed or grateful or transformed. She said, I hold in my hand the power of appreciation of today and every day forward. Appreciation is described as a power she's holding, not a mood she was given, but something in her hand. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And I know it is the quietest one I have told you all month. 4 weeks ago, I opened this series with the ground giving way. And this is where it goes, not to a triumph, but to a Tuesday that a woman can actually feel. Here's today's practice, and it's not a gratitude list. Write one sentence about today, not the best thing, not something you're supposed to be grateful for, but one accurate sentence about today, what today was really like for you, and one specific detail in it that you would otherwise lose by tomorrow. And that's it. You're not counting blessings, you're keeping a record of that today, and that today happened to someone who was present for it. Well, that's day 5. If there's an ordinary day in your life right now that you're actually able to feel, tell me about it in the comments. One detail, I read every single comment. And after 4 weeks of hard material, I would very much like to spend today looking at everybody's regular days. If this gave you one easier breath, help me pass it on. Like, subscribe, tap the bell, save it to a playlist. Every share brings one more person into the Nezneski community, and that's how we build this. One steadier day at a time. Thank you so much to all my followers. I really appreciate you. Now, tomorrow, the ocean physically assaulted me until I learned to pay attention, and I'm going to tell you the shortcut. Science-backed, soul-supported. I'm Dr. Lisa for the Nezneski community. Day 5, week 4, ordinary becomes extraordinary.